So Suga Sean O'Malley has become the UFC's Bantamweight champion of the world. And wow, I didn't think I'd be here the next day saying that, honestly. What a performance by Sean O'Malley. He went out there and beat the reigning champion Aljamain Sterling by a second round knockout. It was a great fight. Again, the outcome was something that I wasn't expecting. I personally thought Aljamain was going to go out there and beat Sean O'Malley and move up to featherweight and challenge the reigning champion up there. But Sean O'Malley put an end to those plans, and yeah, he's become the champion. I think a lot of people were surprised that he was able to do it. It's not like we were all didn't think he had a chance in this fight. It's just we all thought stylistically Sterling would be the one to more than likely go out there and hand Sean O'Malley another loss. And O'Malley proved us all wrong, and here we are the next day eating crow, but congrats to him. I'm really happy he was able to win. I think the division is going to be a lot more fun with him as the champion currently than opposed to Aljo, and that's not a knock on Aljo. It's just stylistically, I think we could see Sean a lot more in more fun fights than Aljo was if he was the champion still. So, that being said, I wanted to go through the rankings for this video and try to figure out what the future for Sean O'Malley holds, because right now, his next couple contenders, I don't really know. We'll see what they look like. So I'm just going to start from the beginning at number one. At number one, you have Merab Dvalishvili, Aljamain's training partner, at number one. So I don't think the UFC is gonna let Merab fight O'Malley just yet. You know, stylistically, I think out of all the guys I'm gonna name, Merab is one of those people that presents one of the tougher challenges for O'Malley with the relentless wrestling, with the endless cardio. I just think stylistically that one will be Sean O'Malley's toughest fights out of all the guys I'm going to name. But I don't think the UFC want that just yet. So I'm going to say Merab's not going to get the next shot yet. I'll go more into depth to it. I'll go more in depth about why I think that in another second once I name the next people on this list. But Merab I don't see happening right now. I think they're going to set Merab up with another fight in order to get the O'Malley fight. And yeah, let's see who we got next. O'Malley's at number two. He just beat Sterling. So yeah, I'm not going to count him or talk about him. Henry Cejudo at number three. Now, Cejudo just lost to Aljamain Sterling, so we probably are not going to see Cejudo in a world title fight just yet. But going back to what I just previously said, I can see the UFC setting up a fight between Merab and Cejudo for whoever will get the next O'Malley shot in the future and everything. Merab's rightfully the number one contender right now. Cejudo's the former world champion coming off a loss to Aljamain Sterling. I think there's a good storyline in there, and I think honestly whoever can win the fight out of those two is deserving of getting the next title shot. So, yeah. For the future, yeah, the winner of this fight, this potential fight, could be fighting O'Malley, but just not right now. So I don't see it being Cejudo. You have Corey Sandhagen at number four. Now, unfortunately, Corey Sandhagen injured himself in his fight with Rob Font a couple weekends ago. I think it was an elbow injury he sustained. I think I saw some interviews with him this week of him in a cast, and yeah, it looks like his timeline isn't going to line up good with O'Malley. Sorry about that. With O'Malley's timeline. So right now, I don't see Corey unfortunately getting the next title shot. I think depending on when Merab and Henry Cejudo get scheduled, if O'Malley has another fight in between now and then those guys still haven't fought yet, I think you could see Corey get the next shot at that point. So Corey Sandhagen, unfortunately, just not right now, not looking realistic due to that injury. You have Peter Yan at number five. Now, Yan is in a bit of a strut, and these two have already fought a while ago. What am I saying? Yeah. Peter Yan and O'Malley already fought. Close fight, controversial fight, you know. I thought it was very entertaining. I would like to see it again, but Yan after that dropped another loss to Merab, and Yan's just in a bit of a rebuilding phase right now, so I don't anticipate Yan fighting for that belt anytime soon. I think he needs to go through some wins, get his confidence back. So yeah, we're not going to count Yan. So yeah, now we're at number six, which I realistically think will be the most likely fight that the UFC will go with, and that is Marlon Chito Vera, who coincidentally fought on this card as well. Don't know if that was planned by the UFC to probably build some hype for a potential rematch between these two. But yeah, no. I think Marlon Vera will probably get the next shot. Like I said, he fought on the card against Pedro Munoz. He didn't sustain too much damage. Didn't have the most impressive performance, but didn't have the worst. Now, I think it was a very workmanlike performance for Vera, you know. Hung in there, was able to hurt Munoz towards the end of that fight. Took some shots. Again, maybe could have thrown a lot more punches than normal, but, you know, that's kind of just the way Chito fights. He's very reserved with his punches. He doesn't waste anything. So, yeah, overall, I don't think Chito took that much damage in the fight, so I could see him resting up for a week or two, then jumping back into a training camp if they give him the O'Malley call. And honestly, For those who don't know, these two have already fought each other years ago in a fight that Chito Vera actually won. He's the guy that gave O'Malley his first loss in the UFC. And a fight that I don't think really a lot of people felt ended conclusively. I mean, you had O'Malley out there doing his thing, but you had Chito in the fight, who was hanging tough with O'Malley up to the point. I mean, the fight only went a round, not too much happened. It was a bit of a cagey fight. Both guys were doing their thing until Chito landed that kick that just separated O'Malley's leg nerve from something, and had him doing the stanky leg, honestly. So I could see Vera and O'Malley being the next title defense for Sean. I don't know when that would be. I would think maybe they would do it sometime in December, early part of next year, but why not? There's a built-in storyline with these two. They don't particularly like each other. Sean's been on record saying he doesn't rate Chito. He thinks that victory was a fluke. For Chito, this is a chance to prove to the public that he can beat O'Malley legitimately. So I think this has all the makings for a good fight and a good storyline between these two. So if you ask me about everyone else I'm going to name after Vera, I think more than likely it will be him getting the next title shot. Because who else do you got? You have Rob Font at 7. He just lost to Corey Sandhagen. Realistically, they're not going to give him the shot. I would like this next person at number 8, Song Yadong. I think Song Yadong is a great fighter. He brings a lot of intensity. He's got great skills. And I think him and O'Malley would just be a really fun fight. I would honestly maybe say right now that that's a 50-50 fight. The difference in that fight could be Song's wrestling, Song's ground game. If he can maybe have some more time to develop that, I could see him giving O'Malley plenty of problems, but just on the feet and just striking alone, that's a great fight between these two. Like I said, Song brings a good amount of intensity, and O'Malley's sharpness and power, I just think that has all the makings for a really good fight. I mean, if Song was ranked higher up in the rankings right now, I would honestly suggest they give him the next title shot, but Song's still got some work to do. I mean, he was supposed to fight Rob Font on this card, but due to circumstances out of his hands, Rob Font ended up fighting Corey and kind of left Song in the woods. But I think if Song can get a big victory, maybe 2, he's definitely in line for the O'Malley sweepstakes. Because, at number 9, you got Dominic Cruz. I mean, that would kind of be cool if they did the OG Bantamweight GOAT versus the new up-and-coming fresh blood. But Cruz is coming off that loss to Vera, still hasn't fought. Really needs another win to solidify himself in somewhat of titleship contention. Unless we're talking he's just a last-minute replacement for a title fight, which I mean could see as a possibility, but not really looking likely. I don't want to see Cruz in a title fight. And then number 10, you have Pedro Munoz, who just lost to Chito Vera. So won't be either of those guys. So after everybody I just named, like I said, Marlon Vera probably makes the most sense. I think that's the direction they're going to go in. But a second contender I would like to see in that mix is Song Yadong, who I think would give O'Malley a really good fight. But that's where I think O'Malley should go. To see what his timeline looks like. Well, hopefully he can get another fight in before the end of the year, maybe even early next year. Hopefully he can stay in that range and go on to defend the belt. Because, having Sean O'Malley as the champion for the UFC is a great thing right now. And I think they're going to try to milk that train as long as they possibly can before they have to give Sean another stylistically tougher fight like Sterling was supposed to be for him, I should say. So, the future of Sean O'Malley is looking bright, and we'll see where he goes from now. I'm Ringside Joe. This is Undisputed Fight Media, and I'll catch you on the next one.